Catch out the latest from Eldon, School of the Osage, and Camdenton, only on Chalk Talk. Wednesdays through Friday on Lake TV.
Hello again, and thanks for joining us again on the Lake Area Chalk Talk, the only TV sports show here at Lake of the Ozarks, devoted entirely to the high school sports scene. I'm Mike Anthony, and for the next half hour, we'll talk it over with some of the area coaches. We'll have a player spotlight and a whole lot more. First of all, before we go to Coach Dan Henderson from School of the Osage, let's quickly do a review of what happened during the first week. First of all, in the Tri-County, School of the Osage, of course, coming up with a big win as they knocked off Fulton by a score of 54-0. It was Blair Oaks over Carrollton, 56-27. Eldon picking up a win in week number 1. They defeated North Callaway, scoring in the final seconds of the game. The Versailles Tigers, they also beat Knob Noster, losing in the Tri-County, Warsaw and California. Those teams 0-1, while the other 4 are 1-0. No conference action to speak of yet so far in the Tri-County. Over in the Ozark Conference, the Camdenton Lakers playing a non-conference game against the Nixa Eagles. Nixa does it again. They ran out to a 28-0 lead. The Lakers would score a couple of times in the fourth quarter. 28-12, they lose that game. Otherwise, in conference action, Glendale picking up a win over Joplin. It was Kickapoo over Waynesville. Lebanon knocking off West Plains, and Parkview over Rolla. One non-conference win. Hillcrest defeated Seneca. So that is what we have for you coming up on the program. Dan Henderson from School of the Osage. We'll also talk it over with Jane Edson, the golf coach for the Camdenton Lady Lakers program. And then we'll have our first player spotlight. This is a difficult one to decide who we would put the spotlight on this week. But we came up with the player, and it's all going to come your way on the Lake Area Chalk Talk coming up right after this.
Live entertainment and lasting memories to your visit at the Lake of the Ozarks at Main Street Music Hall. The great cast of the music hall are still doing great country music and comedy in the Main Street Opry Show on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. and have added a popular retro show of 60s, 70s, and 80s on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 8 p.m. Voted #1 entertainment at the lake, the Main Street Music Hall is sure to provide a night of unsurpassed entertainment for the whole family. Main Street Music Hall is located at the landing on Main Street next to Surdike Yamaha in Osage Beach. For information and reservations, call 1-800-348-9501 or go online at lakemusichall.com.
And welcome back to the Lake Area Chalk Talk. A big week for the Osage Indians. Week number 1. We're going to talk it over now with Coach Dan Henderson from School of the Osage. And Coach, nobody's going to go on record a week before a game and say they're going to have their way with the team, but in the back of your mind, you really did, didn't you?
Well, I knew what they had coming back from a year ago, and what we had coming back from a year ago, and the way things worked out a year ago. I had a pretty good feeling that our athletes would be able to overcome some of theirs. They were playing a lot of younger kids, and that's high school football. There's you have those ups and downs, and rebuilding and recycling, and I think right now we're kind of on an up cycle, and they're kind of in a down cycle, and that's just the way it turned out the other night.
Probably made it kind of tough on you as far as calling the plays, because you don't want to really hold back, but then again, when the game's getting out of hand like that.
Particularly, the first half we feel like anything's game, and we went ahead and went after them the first half, and the second half is where it's hard when you've got younger kids in the game, and you don't want to just serve them up inside every play, and I thought our kids did a good job, and we moved it around, and they had a chance to play. They and that was probably some of our biggest surprises, because we like what we have up, our ones and a lot of our twos and their ability to play, but we got to see some of our younger kids play in a game situation against other people, and that, number one, that's fun, a lot of fun for them, and it's great for us as coaches to get to see some of those kids, because sometimes they don't get all those looks when they're going against those ones, and then you see them from against somebody else's school, and they played pretty well.
Then it gets more of the parents excited too, doesn't it?
Well, that was good for everybody. I think we played 50 kids or 55 kids, somewhere in there. About almost every one of them that dressed. We tried to get them in, and there at the end with the running clock, we was trying to get kids in, and had kids in positions that they weren't accustomed to, but just trying to get them in the game. We have some kids that just played offense. We plan on getting another offensive series, which we didn't end up with there the last 4 or 5 minutes, and ended up putting them in on defense. But we got the opportunity, which is it's rare to get a play. We played some freshmen, and those kids had a blast. So it was good, just a good feeling.
Now the defense set the tone on the first drive for Fulton, 3 and out, and then of course the punt return by Edwards to really kickstart the team. And
well, we scored 48 in the first half, and offensively we big played them, and we never really gotten an offensive flow. We did some things well, but defensively and in the return game, Jared, and we've got several guys that are dangerous that just made it a great night for us.
And not one, but 2 punt returns for touchdowns. Have you seen that as an NBA coach yet?
His one game, Jared Edwards' one game stats is, in all my years, I've never had a kid with 1 game stats. He had 98 yards in punt returns, 2 of them for touchdowns. 2 punt returns, 98 yards a touchdown. 2 catches for 77 yards in a touchdown. He had an 83-yard kickoff return that he didn't score on. He had a 38-yard interception return that he didn't score on, and he had 3 rushes for 50 yards and a touchdown. So, and he had 6 tackles and a tackle for loss, and just had an incredible night. And he'll be the first. He had a lot of help. We had guys blocking. Twin brother Zach was there, broke him free on the one kickoff, and Cody Mayer was down there running with him. So, the other night it was Zach, and I truly feel like we've got several different guys that can be that guy, and but not like that is very rare.
You hope it can be like that.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about this before going on, that it seems to be the Osage trademark that one week some kid is going to really stand out above the rest, and get some contributory help as well, and then the next week it's going to be somebody else. The next week it's going to be somebody else, and just seems to go in cycles.
Well, it'll be game plan week to week, and people are definitely going to try to take away one phase, and what phase they take away, they're going to weaken themselves somewhere else. So we try to take advantage of mismatches and try to get the ball in the right kid's hands.
Last year, Cody Mayer returning the punts for the most part, and this first week it was Jared doing it. Was that?
Well, after last week, I don't know how many touches Jared will get back there. I think a lot of people they'll kick away or kick it out of bounds. We kind of went to a different philosophy with our athletes. We're going to put him back there because he's dangerous if he touches the ball, and we're going to get after some people on the punts. And we were close to blocking a couple there the other night, and it probably would have been better off if we had blocked them for them. Mm-hmm. So. But he was able to pick up a couple and take them back.
Lost in the excitement of Edwards and the 54 points being scored, the defense still posted the goose egg, and that had to be pretty good.
Yeah, I thought our kids ran after the ball awful well. They came out in no huddle. They threw it a little bit and didn't do a bad job, but they ended up. I don't know what our longest scoring drive was, 6 or 7 plays probably at most, but you know, we was able, after we kind of settled down there early, we were able to take it in chunks and kind of do what we wanted to.
We talked a little bit already about it, but the non-starters or the second, third string, you know, whatever you want to refer to them as, getting a chance to get in there, and how important is it this early in the season to be able to get them some action?
Well, it's great for them because, number one, we don't play a game till a week from today with those younger guys, and for them to be able to get in and get some action is great for them, and is a great thing for our program.
As far as the overall week, you know, what kind of attitude did the kids come out of, you know, from the game? I mean, I know you got to be a little bit cautious as a coaching staff that they don't get, I guess for lack of a better term, too big of heads after a game like that. You know, how do you kind of tone them down?
Well, you know, we talked about that, and that's the way we started practice today, and started practice yesterday actually with, you know, it's a new week, and it's not Fulton this week, it's Moberly this week, and you know, they're a good football team. We're going to have to be ready to play, but each week you got to mentally prepare yourself to get ready for a new opponent, and you're not thinking down the road or anything else. You're thinking 1-0 each week, and you know, hopefully we've got that mindset.
Kind of elaborate on Moberly. What do we need to watch out for?
Well, they're big, and of course, everybody's bigger than us. But you know, as Coach Phillips would say, they certainly pass the eye test. Their tackles look like tackles, their linemen, their guards look like guards, and you know, they're big up front and physical. They'll try to spread us around. Their quarterback is a returning starter and throws it pretty well. They're pretty good in the run game off the zone and play action off of that. Defensively, I think we'll see a forefront, and you know, they may shift it up. Last week they played California, who was a double tight team, and they were forefront against them all the way. And a year ago, when we were in a lot more double tight stuff, they played a forefront. But defensively, you know, I think it's a team that we've got some matchups. We can give them some matchup problems, and on both sides of the ball, and we just got to go out and make plays and take care of it. That's don't do things to beat ourselves and play together.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Well, you know, our kids kind of accept that challenge, and we kid with them, and we just know we've got to get after it. It's not that just because they're bigger. You know, we talk about being physical, and we feel like we're a physical football team, and we're going to get after you and let the chips fall where they may.
Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Coach Stan Henderson from School of the Osage, a big win over Fulton to open up the season. Hopefully they can make it 2 in a row with a game against Moberly this week. Stick around. When we return, we'll have our first player spotlight of the program coming up on the Lake Area Chalk Talk right after this.
What makes an Amana brand furnace so comfortable for your life?
Coach.
Simple. A lifetime unit replacement limited warranty. Introducing premium gas furnaces from Amana brand. Amana. Last and last and last.
Welcome back to the Lake Area Chalk Talk. A new segment that we're going to be doing on the program now is a player spotlight. We're going to pick a player each week that made a difference for his or her team, and we're just going to, you know, have some highlights, you know, comments from the players, some comments from the coach. And I'll tell you what, if every week is as difficult to pick one as it was this past week, we're going to have a fun season throughout football. Jared Edwards for Osage, of course, had that massive game, 2 punt returns for touchdowns, along with a couple other touchdowns and some long runs, and he really made a difference as far as the Indians beating Fulton 54-0. But there was one player, perhaps arguably, that made more of an impact for his team, believe it or not. Robbie Mueller from School of the Osage, he plays soccer. We'll hear from him in just a second. He has scored 11 of the team's first 13 goals. He assisted on the 2 others. Time now for the player spotlight on the Lake Area TV Chalk Talk.
Hi, I'm Robbie Mueller. I play soccer here at School of the Osage. and I am a striker. I'm very mentally prepared going into games, but also my teammates help me out a lot. I mean, every goal I score, I have assists, so if it wasn't for my teammates, I couldn't do it. Right now, I think it's little Eggo waffles and some French toast sticks. I wanted to break my previous scoring record. I had 30 goals last season. I wanted to try and beat that, and also I wanted to win some games for our team. Of course, team goal. I wanted to win more than 50% of the games that we played. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. I really didn't try and set up too many goals this year for myself. My teammates helped me out a lot, and I'm glad how the season is starting so far. We're getting off to a great start.
Robbie's a finisher, and he's had 47 goals in his first 2 years, and this year's starting off pretty hot. He's one of our character kids. There's no doubt that outside of soccer, he's a quality person. And he's a good teammate. He's competitive. He supports the best he can. He does rely on his teammates for his success, and he'll be the first one to admit that he can't do it on his own, and that we're really working hard to put the ball in a scoring position. He's just always in that spot once we get it there, and that's the benefit of having a finisher in the game of soccer.
Is so comfortable for your life? Simple. Our lifetime unit replacement limited warranty. Introducing premium gas furnaces from Amana brand. Amana. Last and last and last.
Catch up the latest from Eldon, School of the Osage, and Camdenton, only on Chalk Talk. Wednesdays through Friday on Lake TV.
And welcome back to the Lake Area Chalk Talk. And on the program now joining us is Jane Edson, the Camdenton girls golf coach. And Jane, thanks for taking the time.
I'm glad you're having me here. I'm glad to be here.
Okay, first off, when most people think about Camdenton golf, girls golf at least, they think Joni's team. No longer the case, is it?
That's right. Joni's moved on to other things, and we're in a rebuilding process, but we've got some good girls back, and we're making it work and getting a lot of experience.
First of all, talk about the ones that you lost, and then we'll talk about the ones coming up.
Okay, we lost 3 of our varsity, Joni Purvis, Cassie Kennedy, and Jessica Westerman, and we lost a JV player, Maddie Grogan. So we lost 4 players, and when your team's only 10 to 14 players, that's losing a lot. But we've got 11 girls this year, and so we're very pleased with the ones we've got back. From our varsity, we've got Mackenzie Griffin back, and she's our #1 golfer, and then we're working to replace our other 4.
You say 11. Is that a good number for you to get, or I mean?
11's a good number. You play 10. You play 5 varsity and 5 junior varsity, but you can carry as many as you want, and it's nice to have 11 to 14. And a lot of schools lately have been kind of dropping off and having trouble getting girls, and so I'm very pleased that we've got 11.
Obviously, the season underway now. On a scale of 1 to 10, how ready were they for that first tournament?
Oh, probably about a 6 or a 7. You know, I had actually 4 of the 5 girls for the first tournament had never played 18 holes, but they've been working hard, and they really want to do better, and they're excited about playing, and that's a big part of it. And we talked at practice afterwards, you know, that we're working to gain experience, and you've got to jump in and play 18 holes sometime, and we're just going to work on getting better and better all the time, and it's just going to take playing and to gain our experience.
Had the Elias tournament on Monday, and if I remember correctly, that's usually a pretty big tournament.
Right, there were 13 teams there, and this year we played it at the Jefferson City Country Club instead of Meadow Lake, so it was a little tougher course, but Mackenzie Griffin won the individual title. She shot an 83 and was the tournament medalist. So
83. I think I would lose to her by about 25 strokes.
I'm sure I would, but boy, she hangs in there and does a great job for
How'd
us.
the rest of them do?
They did fine. They did about like a lot of the girls did. Actually, for the first time they've ever played 18 holes, I was pleased with their scores and with their effort.
Golf is largely pretty much an individual sport, but you really need 2 or 3 players consistently to be at the top of their game, or at least being somewhere in the ballpark for it to be a good round. I mean, who
Right.
are you looking for other than Mackenzie to be up there?
Brianna Knopf is a sophomore that's come back from her freshman year and worked hard, and she's really coming along. Sarah Hockley is another sophomore. Laura Rounds is a sophomore, and then I played Haley Myers, a junior, and those girls have made a lot of progress since they started. Haley's a junior, but it's a big difference between their freshman and sophomore year, and they're really working hard at it. So I think they're just going to keep getting better and better. And the good thing is they'll all be back next year.
And the year after.
And the year after.
I was going to say, I know on a game like that, you know, always good to start them young. You know, do you find kids coming up in general starting younger in golf around here? I mean, we're a golf haven here.
Right,
You know,
right. And we
why
have
aren't more kids playing golf?
I know, and we have a wonderful junior golf program here, and they're coming in a lot better prepared than they used to, and they're coming in having taken some lessons or having gone out and played, and that helps a lot. When we first started the team 11, 12 years ago, they were coming in here, they didn't even know how to hold the club, and now at least they've played some, so that helps a lot.
Lake Valley and Kinderhook, again, splitting time between them two for their home course?
Right, we are just extremely lucky in this area. To have 2 premier golf courses like Lake Valley and Kinderhook as our home courses, and then other courses let us come practice if we need to or play a match there, and we're always just treated royally everywhere we go, so we are very lucky.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that would love to play on them courses,
Exactly,
and these kids are getting to play on
exactly.
as part of high school golf.
You're right.
Must be nice.
Right.
You already mentioned it, the Junior Golf Association. You know, how much does that actually help the Camdenton program? I mean, have you had a lot of gals or student athletes participating in both?
I've had several, both Joni Purvis and Cassie Kennedy, who were, stars for us, and now Mackenzie has participated. And I've already got my eye on a couple more that I'll be anxious
Already
for them to be
recruiting,
freshmen.
huh?
I'm ready for them to be freshmen.
The junior golf, that's during the summer, of course.
Right.
And do you encourage the girls that are on the team now? It's like, hey, stay involved, stay golfing, get involved with the junior golf so you stay on top of your game.
Right. I always encourage it and try and go watch them play some and try and help them find out about it, because the ones that really do well are the ones that play year-round.
In general, we are in a very golf-friendly area. Like we said, it's a golf haven. Do you ever encourage the girls, just go out, go around, go to this course or go to that course, so you just don't feel too comfortable on one or two? Or?
Yeah, I do. And with the junior golf, they get access to a lot of courses. Plus, everybody in the area is good about letting the girls play at a reduced rate or even free at times.
With the young team that you have, Coach, with the number of players that you lost compared to what you have coming up, what would be a successful season?
Well, there's several different things. We want to have some wins, and we have done that. We won against Rolla, and then in another match, Elias, Lebanon, and Crocker. We'd like to have a few more wins. We'd also like to do well in the rest of our tournaments. I told the girls tonight we're looking for experience and improvement, so to see that. And of course, we'd like to see a player, Mackenzie, and maybe others go on through the district sectional and state tournaments, and also just have the girls enjoy the experience of playing high school golf.
But we look forward to watching them throughout the year. Are they all right-handed?
Yes, they are.
Well, that's a good thing because I'm left-handed. I know how I play. So.
Yeah, they're right-handed, so that's good because that's the way I play.
Coach, thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Jane Edson, the Camdenton girls coach. When we return, we'll wrap it up for another program of the Lake Area Chalk Talk right after this.
What makes an Amana brand furnace so comfortable for your life? Simple. Our lifetime unit replacement limited warranty. Introducing premium gas furnaces from Amana brand. Amana. Last and last and last.
And we hope you enjoyed another edition of Lake TV Chalk Talk. We appreciate Dan Henderson from School of the Osage Football and Jane Edson from Camdenton Girls Golf coming in to talk to us here in the studio about their teams. We also congratulate Robbie Mueller for being the first player spotlight on the program. We'll have a lot more spotlights throughout the year, and it's going to be exciting to see how these kids do, and we appreciate everybody for watching the program. Before we go real quick, let's take a look at the action coming up this week. School of the Osage, of course, they will be at home. They will be taking on Moberly. Osage trying to go to 2-0 on the year. Eldon looking for a 2-0 record. They'll be at Weststrand. That'll be a tough one for the Mustangs. For Sales with a 1-0 record on the road at Southern Boone. Grain Valley will be at Blair Oaks as the Falcons try for their second win of the year as well. Warsaw in California, they're looking for their first wins. Warsaw will be at Springfield Central. California will be at North Callaway. Over in the Ozarks Conference, Parkview traveling to Camdenton. The Lakers looking for their first win. Parkview trying to go 2-0 on the year. We'll have the cameras at that game and talk it over with head coach Jeff Shore next week. Otherwise, Lebanon will be in Arkansas taking on a Harbert. Glendale will be at Waynesville. Kickapoo at Rolla. Joplin at West Plains. And Hillcrest at Heritage, Arkansas. So another exciting week of high school football coming up, and then another Lake TV Chalk Talk coming up next week for you. We hope you enjoyed the program. Thanks for watching.